जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, गोपीजना वल्लभ गिरिवरधा हरि, जय गोपीजना वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी, यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन, यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन, यमुना तीरा वनचारी, यमुना तीरा वनचारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। एवरीवन, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, राधा गोविंद राधा गोविंद जय राधे, राधा गोविंद राधा गोविंद जय राधे, गौरानिताय गौरानिताय श्री गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय, गौर हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल, गौर हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल, जय प्रभुपाद जय श्रील प्रभुपाद, जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय श्रील प्रभुपाद। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So welcome all the devotees for our Friday Satsang online program. And I'm very, very happy to hear about many of you. Since many weeks we are attending classes together, but I hardly get to know the wonderful qualities and talents of each of you. And I'm thankful to Murari Gopal Prabhu. I think somebody is on their mic. Please mute your mic. So, Muralidhar Meghwal Prabhu for organizing these events very consistently every week. And not only that, he's giving time to each one of you personally over phone and be available. And I feel it a great fortune that I get opportunity to share something from the Vedas, from the scriptures, as enunciated to all of us through Srila Prabhupada, His Divine Grace, Abhaya Charanarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who was the founder of International Society for Krishna Consciousness, ISKCON. Personally, reading through his books, I gained a lot of wisdom in spiritual life, which has helped me to go through life and grow through life. And I take it a responsibility personally to share such knowledge with who are interested ones. So today's topic, what we are going to take is a very unique topic, considering the present hot issues which are going around from the perspective of beginning with the Kashmir Files movie. When it came, a lot of commotion happened regarding the Islamic what do you call exploitation on the Hinduism, on Hindus. And in other corner of India, we find there were a lot of conversations happening in the name of Christianity and other aspects, how to tackle that. A lot of things, and RSS and many other many societies are really working hard in order to bring a proper peaceful society, to bring out a peaceful society. And we see recent Gyan Vapi Masjid, whether it is a masjid or a temple, there are a lot of discussions are happening on that. So considering all these things, I personally felt there is a need that each one of you who are from intellectual background and quite educated in your personal life also, it's important to know what actually scriptures speak about it. So if we can understand, if our basic knowledge is very clear, our foundation is very clear, then the building sustains. Here I am personally, I am in one house of our very senior leader of our ISKCON Kolkata, Ashok Agarwal Prabhu, alias Adokshaja Madhav Prabhu. Today I have a very important meeting which was supposed to happen during this time only, but somehow I have the online class. I told him that after the online this session at 8 o'clock we'll have our meeting. So I came to his house, and he himself is a very, very renowned person within Kolkata. He has his own business, Asia Pacific Marbles. But if you come to his house, it's like a Vaikuntha here. And everyone says Hare Krishna, there are devotees. You see behind the background, you see beautiful Gauranitai deities. He's worshipping, and he has a Shaligram Shila. Many years back, they personally come and stayed at his house. So I'm very, very thankful for him also for giving this opportunity to have this session right in his house, and the center of his house, that is this place, altar, where Sri Nitai Gauranga resides. And this Gaur Nitai, like last time we had this session last Friday, the two lords with one mission. I hope most of you attended that. So Nitai Gauranga, there are two lords. Krishna and Balaram comes as Nitai and Gauranga. They come in order to promote with one mission. That mission is to unite the whole world under one banner. Under one banner, which will, irrespective of your birth, in what religion you have, irrespective of what caste you are in, these two lords have come with one mission to unite together. So, taking their blessings, I would like to start the session. It is now 6:56. We will have around 45 minutes session. And after that, if any of you have any questions on that, queries, please. Okay. So I am thankful to each one of you also for sparing your time in your valuable life, what you have, you are taking out, and rest assured, Krishna will ensure Swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayato mahato bhayat. In Bhagavad Gita, he says that even a little endeavor you do in the path of devotional service, it protects you from the greatest danger. So all these endeavors which all of you are doing over weeks, attending these sessions on weekly basis, Friday Satsang, this actually, you may say, Prabhu, some things I'm able to understand, some things I'm not able to understand. But your presence itself, Krishna is noting it. And when he notes it down, all these things will add to your credit. And these spiritual credits is not like your material bank account. You withdraw, then it is long. That much reduction happens in your bank balance. But the more you withdraw in spiritual life, by chanting more rounds, by associating with devotees more, by hearing regularly, by taking prasadam, by going to visit the holy places, more you withdraw, more your bank balance increases. This is the spiritual nature of the spiritual bank account. We have a Diwala bank account and we have a spiritual bank account. So a good intelligent person invests his time appropriately. You certainly would like to invest where profits are more. You don't want to invest place where things are not in your hand, and it may get lost anytime. So spiritual life is like that. So, and I'm confident that you all are intelligent boys and girls and men and women who are attending this, who are giving your valuable time with proper thought over it. I hope not. None of you are attending because out of fear of Muralidhar Megwal, sir. It should not happen that out of fear, out of some there is some obligation. Yes, with obligation also it's wonderful, but over a period it should become a self-interest. You are personally interested to practice spiritual life, to chant, to hear about Krishna, and to know more about the Vedas, and try to understand the practical life in a proper way. Okay, so let us start the session. Hare Krishna. So I'm sharing one document. I hope you'll be able to see that. Hare Krishna. The unity in diversity. So we see in this world, there are many religions. By the way, we have to understand one important principle here. None of us are what you call defined by the religion we take birth in. So, with deep respect for everyone, for what religion they have accepted, we are. Let us see from what Vedas speak about the religion, and if the God is one, because we see in our understanding the entire universe is maintained and controlled by one intelligent person, and under his direction there are many departments like fire department, water department, other departments which are managed, and you see the harmonious way the nature is being orchestrated. This shows that there is one person behind, and we define him as the supreme personality of Godhead. if God is one, then why there are so many religions? There is Judaism, Sikhism, Islam, Christianity, Taoism, and Buddhism, Jainism. You see a lot of and new isms also starting up. As the new religions are getting added up. There are some proper bona fide and some are like newly starting up, historical, and some are very newly started. So how to identify the essence of each one of these religions, and when you understand the essence of each of them, and how to connect them, how to connect all these dots and find the purpose, whether the purpose is common or it is variegated. So when this basic understanding is clear, then we can think about discussing on the hot issues. Otherwise, the whole world discuss on hot issues without personally being acquainted with the knowledge of each of these religions. Therefore, today's topic was more on the understanding the variegatedness of different religions and understand the common spirit behind them. Okay. So if God is one, then why there are so many religions? So we see, is every religion is directing us to different directions, or are they pointing to one direction? In fact, in our personal experience in the world around, we see they're actually directing in different directions. In the perspective of understanding of God also. Some religions commonly say, but some religions have a different understanding. Like Buddhism, they don't believe in God only. So, on the other hand, Hinduism and Christianity and Islamic people are fighting about who is the actual God. So, this is how you see that are they pointing to different directions, or they are uniting everyone to one common purpose. Understanding about God. So why many religions? So Prabhupada, who was one of the spiritual ambassador, embassy we have in our Kolkata in the Park Street, I suppose. We have American embassy and Russian embassy. There, Russian embassy in another place. So in these places, embassy is a place where you get to experience the culture of that particular country. You see people speaking there in the embassy that language. The way of their attire is that of that religion of that country. And you go for a visa interview, and then they ask you for what purpose you want to come. Is your coming is benefiting to the country or not? They all check, and accordingly they stamp your visa. So in the same way, the spiritual world embassies are also there in this material world in the form of many holy places. And these spiritual embassies, the culture which is being practiced is what you see in the spiritual country, or you can say spiritual world. And there are ambassadors who come to promote about it, to represent the spiritual countries, spiritual world. And one of the spiritual ambassadors is Srila Prabhupada. He gave a very amazing understanding about the God and why there are so many religions. So we'll discuss on these aspects. Okay. Why many religions? So the principles of all the important religions are the same. Just like here, we are the 6 principles are being spoken. 7 principles are spoken. See, when I'm saying spiritual, I mean the main teaching. The main teaching of all the religions is same. The first teaching they give is approaching spiritual master, approaching a guru. Like we have in Christianity the Trinity. What is the Trinity? The God, the Spirit, and the Father. So basically, you see, Guru, Lord, and the living entity. This is the Trinity in the Christianity. Similarly, in Islam also, when they approach, when they want to surrender, they have Sufis. Sufis are considered one of the very pure Islamic people who are like represent. They know the word of Allah, Prophet Muhammad. See, there are people whom you approach and surrender. You surrender to Jesus. That means you are approaching Guru. So approaching spiritual master is that principle is being enunciated similar in all the religions. Similarly, the another principle which is that God is one and love of God. Interestingly, it's only in Hinduism, or you can say in our Sanatana Dharma, people are confused who is the actual one God. In fact, from the very first, there are 32 crore devatas we worship. So, but in the entire of these 32 devatas, the principle remains Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Ete cham sakala pumsa, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. But because people are oriented, the Vedas give opportunities for them to grow according to their level. We'll discuss on this topic. But we see the principle is God is one, the Bhagavan is one. Like they say that the God is that Christ. That God is one, surrender. And similarly in Islamic, the Allah. Allah means the all strength. The all powerful is called as the God. So God is one and one is supposed to love the God. The third principle is obey God's law. On the judgment day, a person will be sent accordingly, sentenced accordingly. Either he will go to the Jesus or he will go back into the darkness. So such type of things we see commonly in all religions. In our Hinduism, we have Naraka and Swarga. पाप करेंगे तो नरक में जाएंगे, पुण्य करेंगे तो स्वर्ग में जाएंगे. So obeying God's law. If you don't obey, then you'll go to Naraka. If you obey, then you'll go to Swarga. And the another principle which is return back to Godhead, God's kingdom. Like in Bible, we have this story, that forbidden apple. God has had a hidden garden. In the Eden garden, he had Adam and Eve. And Adam and Eve, one time they were roaming in the Eden garden. And suddenly the God Father, the God Christ came there. And he told them, see, I am going out. You both enjoy nicely, but don't eat the forbidden apple. And then they happily roam around the garden and they are careful not eating that forbidden apple. And suddenly that time the Satan comes in the form of a snake and whispers in the ears of the Eve. He says, you know why your Godfather has told not to eat that apple? Because if you eat it, you will become like Godfather. There he is envious of you. He doesn't want you to become his competitor. So I am telling you, eat it. You will experience a new change in life. So he was confused. She wanted to go and tell Adam about it. But Adam, what he will say? So then he immediately sat and said, whispered, don't go for others' opinions. Just do what you feel like. Are you feeling like eating the apple? He said, something is forbidden, we want to touch that. Is it not? We have this tendency. Somebody said, don't go there. We want to go there only. That is a very naughty tendency. So the Eve went and ate the apple. As soon as she ate the apple, she found herself naked. She found herself naked and went and covering herself behind the bushes. Adam came and he said, Eve, what is happening with you? He said, I am naked. He said, from beginning we are naked only. But it doesn't matter. Like children, when they're naked, they don't mind. They don't feel like shy. But she started feeling, I'm feeling very shy. What to do? Then I said, what happened? Did you do something wrong? He said, yes, I ate the apple which Godfather told not to eat. Then Adam also said, oh, you ate it, so I will also eat it. So he was also inspired. So he went and ate it. And he also started covering his private parts. And then Godfather returned to the Eden garden. He observed both of them hiding behind the bushes. They never did like this before, earlier. He said, what happened? Immediately Lord understood that they ate the forbidden apple. He said, because you both ate the forbidden apple, you are not deserved to stay in this Eden garden. This Eden garden is only for those who are pure. You got contaminated. You are contaminated with the desire to become the supreme person, which is not possible. हर एक मन में रहते हैं ना, मैं भगवान बन जाऊंगा, ये बुद्धि ना, ये तो अहंकार रहते हैं strong. उसके वजह से Godfather said, you are not qualified to stay here. Go down. I will send you to a place where you have to experience death and birth. And said, if you are responsible for initiating all these things, so you will have to bear more pain than Adam of bearing the birth of a child. Like that he tells. And then, because you both are responsible children of mine, you both will be staying in the world down and take care of my other children who will take the form of animals and birds. So the man and woman are given the responsibility of taking care of the animals. That's how the Bible story, Jesus personally explains to the many of the people in that deserted area, and tells that how the Godfather is waiting for Adam and Eve to return back. So we see this story is not just a story which this is a reality. And what is this reality? Reality is that we all came from spiritual world, separated from the God. And now God wants us to take us back. And for taking back, he's sending many of his representatives, spiritual ambassadors into this world and to bring us. But when he's sending, he has to send to a place a qualified person who can actually connect to the people in that area and try to uplift their consciousness and inspire them that you are actually not of this world. You are supposed to go back to Godhead. And therefore, this principle, returning back to Godhead, is very good. Like in Islam also, you see the Jinnat. You know what they say, Jinnat. Actually, that is a perverted understanding which is spread around. The jihad principle is not about sacrificing others, sacrificing oneself for the service of the God. But this has been very much, you can say, from the character of Muhammad only, a lot of controversies have come. And that's how the whole principle is being misunderstood and misapplied. And therefore, the Jinnat principle, which is actually going back to Allah, that is wrongly being promoted, and from beginning only, from the basics of the Islam, these things started happening, where people considering it's like enjoying heavenly damsels. So this is a very wrong motivation with which people are going ahead. But they going back to Godhead is a place where everyone is pure. There is no form of negativity in the heart of a person when he goes back to God's kingdom. And the fifth principle, which commonly in all religions, is sin no more. Jesus says, he said, now you surrender and sin no more. You cannot commit any other sins. You have committed till now because of ignorance. Now, no more sins. One is supposed to protect oneself from all these sinful activities, which are defined in 4 categories: imitating, intoxication, illicit sex, and gambling. And we see another principle, which is very commonly in all the religions, is chanting the names of God. Can anyone say in Islam how they chant the name of God? Hare Krishna. What is the way they remember the name of God in Islamic religion? Hare Krishna. Yes, Akash, you want to share? Anybody would like to speak on this? How in Islam they take the name of the God? Yes, Chetan. How about namaz? They do the namaz. Regularly they do the namaz. In that way they remember the name of the God. And how in Christianity they take the name of the God? Sunday they have meetings. And on the rosary beads, you see the nuns and the father, they chant on the rosary beads the name of Christ. The name Christ and Krishna are similar. Krishna in the Sanskrit is called as Krishna. Krishna, Sarva Akarshiti iti Krishna. So that Krishna and the Christ are the same actually. So they take the name of the Christ. Like Jesus says, one finds the strength in name of the God. In that way, you see, then chanting the names of the God is a primary thing in all the religions. Similarly, sacrifice of material pleasure, renunciation of the material pleasure. We see the Saint Valentine is not a lover's day actually. It's a wrong concept. Valentine is a saint. He was a saint who sacrificed for promoting Christianity himself. And the day he sacrificed was February 14th. And that happened to be in the Vasanta Ritu, where everything is romantic. And people started taking it as a lover's day. But it is Saint Valentine. So Saint Valentine is a saint who renounced material pleasure. And he sacrificed for love of God. So we see these principles are common in all the religions. I think you need to close it. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Yeah, I think no background music will not come. I'm in a house. A lot of children and family are there, so they're talking. Hare Krishna. So we'll go ahead. So we cannot remain atheist and wear the garb of secularism. We have to practice these principles. What is secularism? In India, the only problem in India is secularism. In the name of secularism, what people are doing is they're not practicing any religion. Being secular, people have imagined or defined their own religions and started living a atheistic life. Atheistic means no belief in God. Such life of has no meaning only. And such people, even though they fight for particular religion, their fight has no value. So one has to be committed and understand the foundational principles of the religion, what is practicing. And these principles have to be practiced if one is want to be a religionist. And then you can actually fight for the cause. There's no use in just fighting for namesake. So I would like to, why there are so many religions? Why they are categorized? Why not God has given just one religion? People have been solved, people have been peaceful. But it is not the way. Here is the logic, one analogy. See, for elementary students, you give them the question 2 minus 5. Like here we have one small girl. If I ask that girl, you tell me 2 minus 5, what is it? So she'll get confused. I went to one children program, I asked her, you are very good in maths. So I asked her, what is 2 minus 5? She said 3. I said, I'm asking 5 minus 2, 2 minus 5. She got confused. You are asking a wrong question. Because at their level, the understanding of the mathematics is at that level. Over a period when they grow, then that understanding is given. 2 minus 5 is equal to minus 3. In high school, it is given. Elementary school, that knowledge is given, not given. Because the capacity to understand is very less. So they are given that much what they can pick up. And over a period, new challenges are given. Then you are made to understand the reality is not just 5 minus 2. It can be 2 minus 5 also. And the answer would be minus 3. In high school, that understanding is given. And more you go to graduation, there are many other formulas which come into sine, cos, tan. Like that, there are many other formulas which come into picture. So similarly, in religion also, there are categorizations based on the people, audience. If audience are quite elementary, they have their basic living is at stake. Like when Jesus went, Moses, when first person came was Prophet Moses. When Moses came, that time people were under the subjugation of a king who was very bad in nature. And they needed a place where they can sustain, they can eat. And that time Moses came as a representative, understood that if I tell them about God fully, they will tell, Forget about God. We want to live peacefully. Take us from here out. So Moses did some magics which were given by God to him. And by that, he brought them to another island. He said, I'm taking you on another land, but you have to follow me properly. So in this way, that religion focused on basic sustenance. Similarly, when Jesus came to preach, he found at one place in a deserted area, they don't have anything to eat. So he found that for them to sustain, in order to preach them, in order to help them to take spiritual knowledge, he personally went and got the fish from the ocean. It's not that Jesus is inspiring people to eat fish. No, they don't have any sustenance. So later on, he mentioned, "Thou shalt not kill." One of the commandments. That means not kill means not even kill a fish for your self gratification. For the satisfaction of the tongue, you cannot kill a fish. But when required, he did this. So he gave them the basic knowledge. What is required? Oh God, give us our daily bread. This prayer he has given. Why he has given? Because people are not having bread only. Roti bhi nahi tha unko khane. But you see, more the audience are quite elevated in their living lifestyle and their consciousness. More the religion addresses such issues. You see, in Islamic, there is a principle called you cannot have sex with your mother. This is specifically mentioned by Muhammad. Because when Muhammad went to preach in that area, people were actually doing such simple activities. He had to tell, this is wrong, you cannot do this. But do you think any of our Hinduism speaks about this? Because naturally people are living that life where they treat matrastus paradareshu. Any other woman other than your own wife should be considered as mother. So mother has a certain value. She should be respected and valued for her position. Everyone is potentially a mother or a mother. Even a small girl is there, she's potentially a mother in the future. So they should be respected for that. So we see, based on the audience, the religion is relative. So in Islam, this aspect, all animals except pig and dog can be eaten after sacrifice. Why? Because they were eating so many things unrestrictedly. So he said, no, don't eat unrestrictedly, eat a little. But in the Christianity, Roman Catholics take meat every day except Friday. They don't take a pig or a dog. They're restricted. But they're told not to eat on Fridays. And then in Sanatana Dharma, see, Hinduism is a word which is coined by the Indians during the British time. It was not there earlier before that. Hinduism word is not there in any of our Sanatana Dharma. But for your knowledge, Hindu is what? Actually, there is a Sindhu river which is crossing from the Himalayas, which is coming, the river is coming from Himalayas, and that is making a border for India. And people on the other side, they used to consider these Indians, these people who are residing on the other side of Sindhu, they are called as Hindus. They're highly civilized people. Their lifestyle, their thing. And therefore, because that time they could not pronounce Sindhus, they used to call Hindus. So from there, the Hinduism word has come coined up. But actually, what we practice with Devata worship and Krishna worship is all a Sanatana Dharma. And according to Sanatana Dharma, about meat eating, what is mentioned? Meat eating is a pillar of sinful life. One not supposed to eat it. And true spiritual life cannot begin until we show mercy towards God's creature. So you see, based on the person's culture and the knowledge which he has received, that type of education is given. For example, you go to your university college, and on the walls of your college is written, don't stab your student, don't carry pistols. If you see all such instructions, you become very fearful to go to that college, because that means that such of things are happening there. But we don't see such things being written here. Certainly, these things are written in American universities. In certain places, it is written. Because people have license to carry pistol. So they were screened before entering the university. So we see different religions are there because audience are different. And And I know to address those audience, the different religions are shared. Clear? Chetan Prabhu? We have one more devotee here with us. I'm not able to show him right now. He is sitting behind the screen here. So Chetan Agarwal is a very nice devotee. He is also started attending sessions locally here in Kolkata on Sundays. Yes, today mercifully accompanied me to the house program here. Hare Krishna. Thank you for that. So another aspect we see that how old is the religion? That also signifies a lot. Just wait. Yeah. How old is the Sanatana Dharma? Islamic religion started 1300 years back. And Christianity started 2000 years back. Islam started when Prophet Muhammad came. And he found it, prophet matlab is sent by God only. In one of our Skanda Purana and Padma Purana, it is explained that Muhammad will come and Ishai matlab the Jesus will come to promote a religion in order to protect those who are in the outskirts of the Sanatana Dharma, who went out of Sanatana Dharma. Those people are tamed gradually to bring back to religion by these two personalities, Muhammad and Ishai, that is Jesus. This is explained in one of the Skanda Purana. Buddhism came, Lord Buddha came to that is 2500 years back. Buddhism and Bhagavad Gita. It is said the Bhagavad Gita was spoken to Arjuna 5000 years back. In fact, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, for Arjuna, this knowledge I have not given you right now. I have given this knowledge earlier to you, to Sun God, Vivashwan. That is 2 million years back. 2 million years back, he gave that knowledge to Sun God. In this way, you can trace the Sanatana Dharma, which is very from the dawn of the creation. Bhagavad Gita is spoken later, but Sanatana Dharma is from very beginning. So in this way, we see the Sanatana Dharma is quite old. Sanatana Dharma is eternal religion. Sanatana means eternal. Dharma means religion. See, Prabhupada very interestingly translates Dharma as religion to make you understand. The chili, the Dharma of a chili, what is that? Hot. The Dharma of candy is sweet. The Dharma of fire is hot and heat, hot and light. Similarly, Dharma of the ice cube is cold. The Dharma of water is liquid. But liquid can be made into ice, but it is only for temporary basis. So in the same way, the Dharma of every living entity is to love God and serve God. That is actually religion. Religion is not about Hindu. Are you Hinduism or a Christian? No. If you ask, are you a servant of God? Do you love God? That is the main thing we should ask about people. Are you servant of God or you think you are a God? So I don't believe in God. Such people, why they are fighting about religion? So that is the we have to understand. Sanatana Dharma means eternal religion. From the book Jaiva Dharma, Bhaktivinoda Thakur quotes, Sanatana Dharma, often called as Hinduism, Islam, Quran, Quran, they have commonalities. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says there are certain commonalities in the teachings of these two religions. We have the concept called Jiva. Jiva means individual living entity. And Islam, Quran also speaks Ruh. Ruh. The word Ruh is there. That means the living entity. Spiritual, Chit, or spiritual life. In Islam, it's called as Mujarrad. Material life is Achit. It's called Jism. And consciousness, the liberated soul, Mukta Jiva. In Quran, it is called a Ruh Mujarrad. The Ruh, the living entity, has become spiritual. Ruh Mujarrad. The condition, the Baddha Jiva, the one who is in this matter, like all of us. In Islam, it is called as Ruh Tarkibi. The ignorance, Mala, we are contaminated by a lot of contamination around mala. In Islam, it is called as malakut. In spiritual, the word spiritual world, paravyoma or apara world, the spiritual world, the Lord, that is called as alam al mashal. In Quran, it is mentioned. Love of God, prema. We call it as prema. We chant the holy names to attain Krishna prema. Krishna's love for Krishna. That is called as ishq in Islam. Quran. Ishq is only for Allah. Ishq is not for someone else. Ishq is for only for Allah. So that's why God, Ishwar, is called in Islam Khuda. So in this way, there are many wonderful teachings which are common. The words. Do they say the same thing? Yes. All they speak. The Islam, what the teachings are given, they are giving certain teachings which are spoken in Sanatana Dharma, but all the teachings of Sanatana Dharma are not reflected in Islam, because the gradation is different. The audience are different, therefore they have given that much knowledge. Like here is mentioned that the Ruh Tarkbi has a material mind and is full of ignorance. The conditioned person has a lot of contamination. So these things are explained. Every soul will have taste of death. You see, anyone who takes birth, they have the taste of death. The life of this world is but comfort of illusion. In dunya mein jo moha maya, in this all religion speaks about it. Don't make your life permanent here. Even Jesus says, don't try to build a castle on the sand, because it will be washed away by the time. So in this way, there's a lot. But those who keep their duty to their Lord, for them are gardens underneath which rivers flow, wherein they will save forever. So this is the statement of Jesus in the Bible. So basically it meant that for those who surrender to God, the Lord will personally be there and take them to Vrindavan, where the rivers flow and there are beautiful gardens and they remain safe. What Jesus is speaking and what Krishna is speaking, assuring, are the same. So Sanatana Dharma and Christianity in both. So somebody can read this, what mentioned here, the abode of mind. Somebody would like to share. Hare Krishna. In the participants. Neha Dima, you would like to read? Hare Krishna. Is audible? Hare Krishna. Neha? Somebody would like to read what is being mentioned here?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, please, Chandana, please read.
That abode of mine is not illuminated by the sun or moon, nor by electricity. One who reaches it never returns to this material world. Lord Krishna spoke to Arjuna in Gita.
Yeah. So in Sanatana Dharma, especially Bhagavad Gita, it is mentioned about the spiritual world where God resides, so the hidden garden. It says that place is not illuminated by sun or moon because they're self-illuminated. And one who goes there, they will never come back. You may ask the question, Prabhu, we have come from there only. Why? How we came? So how we came is a big question. But our purpose should be going back. After going back, you can ask God, how I came here in this particular. But once you return back, you will never come back. In order to come back to this particular. In Christianity, we see that principle is, it is again one more understanding of Sanatana. Please read, Chandana. Hare Krishna, there is another statement which came up. Please read it.
There the sun does not shine, neither do the moon and the stars, nor do these flashes of lightning shine. What to speak of fire? He shining, all these shine. Through his luster, all these are variously illuminated.
Shweta Vastra Upanishad. One of the Upanishads, 6th chapter, 14th verse, it is spoken. It is Lord who is shining everything in the spiritual world. And in the, yeah, you please read this. This is from the Bible.
And there shall be no night there, and there need no candle, neither light of the sun, for the Lord God giveth them light, and they shall reign forever and ever.
This is from the Bible specific chapter 22 and the 5th. Yeah. Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, please read this.
I shall now declare unto you in full this knowledge, both phenomenal material and nominal spiritual, by knowing which there shall remain nothing further to be known.
Yeah. So Krishna is ensuring that I am giving you knowledge. This is complete. There is no further else to know. In this way, he is giving an issue that what I am giving the entire complete knowledge to you. Yeah. In Bible, Jesus. Please read.
There is much that I have to tell you, but you cannot bear it now.
Yeah. So before leaving, he met all his 12 prophets, 12 apostles, who were his 12 main disciples. And unfortunately, one of them only made the Romans to attack Jesus. So Jesus had mentioned them. He knew that that person is going to attack. He said, there is much I have to tell you about the kingdom of God, but you all cannot bear that much. Now, till now, whatever teachings I have given, you try to spread about it to others. So all these 12 apostles, they understood. The one who also cheated, he also realized that he did a big mistake. So then all of them gave their life for teaching about the teachings which they received from Jesus. And that's how the Bible came into picture. So there Jesus mentioned this statement. There is much I have to tell you, but you all cannot bear it. Because you don't have that ability, nor that commitment in the perspective of practicing that life. Your commitment to me, so you sacrifice your life for me and preach about it. So they all of 12 of them went and preached like that. So different religions, same message. Depth of variable and inconceivable information, the Vedas is far greater than other scriptures. The information which is given in scriptures, especially in the way Hinduism, Sanatana Dharma, is very elaborate. Like in Bible, it is mentioned, let there be a light, and there was light. This was the explanation of creation, how creation happened. God said, let there be earth, and there was earth. But if you see in Bhagavatam, there is a pages and pages explaining about the creation aspect. The Shankya, the 24 elements, how they came into picture, is very elaborate. Many religions say, what they say, God is great, God is love, God is almighty. But they hardly give information about how God is great. But in our scriptures, you see there are many stories explained. Krishna, a small boy, 7-year-old boy, how could he lift a big Govardhan hill? This is how much strength he has. And how he loves his devotees. God is love, but how he loves his devotees. You hear the beautiful pastimes of Jagannath Puri. From next 2 sessions, Friday Satsang, we'll have Jagannath Kada. Because Rath Yatra is coming. So I thought of taking a beautiful Kada on Jagannath Ji. There are 4 lords in India. One Lord, he wakes up in Dwarkanath. He wakes up in Dwarka and he meditates there, Dwarkanath, in Dwarka. And then he comes and takes his prasad in Jagannath Puri, eating God Jagannath. And after eating, he goes for his office work in the Badrinath. So, and then he comes to sleep in Ranganath, Sri Rangam, in south. So in all 4 directions, The Lord is waking up and doing his house, and then he's meditating at one place, he's eating at one place, and sleeping at one place. In that way, we have very beautiful Lord Jagannath, eating God, very famous. We'll have a session in the next 2 sessions of meditation. Okay. So we see how Lord has colorful pastures with his devotees. So we have pocket dictionary. In pocket dictionary, there many words are given explanation, but it will not give full information of all the words. But we have, so all the religious books, which are the Bible, Quran, Buddhist Tripakshya, Avesta, Tanka, all these are like pocket. They give proper information, but only a limited information about the God. They're true. They're all true. There's no falsity in them. But they give a limited and a perspective information about the God and other important lessons for living a proper life in this material world. But Sanatana Dharma is like a Chambers dictionary. In Chambers dictionary, you have many elaborated words which are explained in detail and things. Therefore, we have to understand the Vedas are like that. The Vedas, Veda categorization is very big. So understanding about the God is very elaborate. A simple definition of God is given in Bhagavatam. Janmadi yasya yataha, the one from whom everything emanated. So in the Bible, Jesus claims himself to the Son of God, Christ. Romans, for whoever shall call upon the name of Lord shall be saved. Our Father with heart in heaven, hallowed be thy name. This is what in the Bible mentions. He is being worshipped in the heaven, the God, by his name. In Quran, Muhammad mentions, call himself the prophet of God. He doesn't say I'm God. Even Jesus doesn't say I'm God. They say I'm the Son of God. And Muhammad says I'm prophet of God. He's a messenger of Allah. So Muhammad is not the father of any of your men, but the messenger of Allah and the seal of prophets. All Ajab 33:40. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna declares himself to be the God. There is a difference. Jesus says, I am Son of God. Muhammad says, I am the prophet of God. But Krishna says, I am God. I am the source of Maya Dakshena Prakriti Suyate Sacharachana. The whole world is running under my direction. It's not that Krishna is proud. He's telling the fact. When he's telling the fact, why you should be proud? If Mukesh Ambani says, I am the, it's not that he's proud. Reality, he's in a particular position, he's speaking about it. And Narendra Modi says, I am the Prime Minister of India. Do you think he's proud? No, it's a reality. Similarly, Krishna says, I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna and Christ, I already explained this. Christ comes from the Greek word Christos. And Christos in the Greek version of the word Krishna. And Krishna is a Sanskrit word meaning the object of attraction. Sarva Akarshiti iti Krishna. So what Christians address the Christ and what we address as Krishna, Madhav, Govinda, Madan Mohan, all are same. All are the same, different names of the same God. That commonality you have to understand. Just when Jesus said, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed by thy name, that name of God was Krishna or Krishna. Christ is simply another way of saying Krishna and Krishna. Different religions call him by different names as they simply glorify one of his immutable qualities. Allah, Jehovah, Christ, Hev, Vaheguru, Elohim, Adonai. These are the different aspects of the one God. Allah means the strongest, Jehovah, the greatest. Like that, these are different. But in, for example, we call sun by different names. Surya we call with different names. Ravi, Dinakar, Bhaskar, Surya, Aditya, and there are 12 names of Lord Arkya. But all these names enter the same object. And this sun is going in every place. Is showing his mercy in everywhere. Blowing light is in every part of the world. Like so, God is also like sun. He's addressed with different names. Like water, you call Pani, you call Jal, Niru. Like that, we call a different name. That water is same. Similarly, all religions are addressing only one God, whom they call by different names. God has thousands of names, being the greatest person. God has various roles to play. In the material world, is a creator, maintainer, and destroyer, which is called as the generator, operator, destroyer. God. He destroys demons, he protects devotees, and reestablishes the religion. And beyond this world, God has different function. God in this world is like a person in the office. When you go in office, you are very formal, you do your duties and so on. But the same person, when he comes back to home, is happily staying relaxed, enjoying life with his wife and children. That's what we see. So similarly, God is in spiritual world, is enjoying. You see Krishna Balaram, they are enjoying life, playing sports. And in the evening, he is playing pastime with his girlfriends. In the morning, he is spending time with his father and mother. In the afternoon, he is spending time with friends. So Krishna is Krishna in the spiritual world is like God at home. And the same Krishna, when he is in this material world, is like Mahavishnu, who is lying with his 4 hands, protecting, is holding Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, and protecting the people. The role of God is different. God is same. Vishnu and Krishna are same. But Vishnu is God at office and Krishna is God at home. So what is more appealing? A person at home is more appealing. You see Mukesh Ambani, when he goes to home, he's just like any other father or a husband of a woman or a father of a particular child. They don't say, okay, Mukesh Ambani ko saath aisa nahi karna. Narendra Modi, when he goes back to his place, his mother sees him as her own son. So that way. So because of the above different roles, some religions present God as giver of justice. Most of the religions in this world, they see God in office. He said, if you don't worship God, you'll be punished, you'll be like that. On the day of judgment, it will happen like this. But in Sanatana Dharma, you see, the God is more seen in the role at home. God at home. So that is more sweeter, more appealing. So therefore, there are 4 platforms of worship. What are they? First is fear. People worship God out of fear. If I don't worship, I may be punished. And then gradually one is raised to a desire. Just like you go to the restaurant and you ask the waiter, okay, what are the items are there? Eat as this or okay, you order certain things. So people see God as order supplier. They see order supplier. Oh Maruti, give me Maruti car. Oh Surya, give me health. Oh Chandra, give me happiness in life. Oh Indra, give me rains. Always give me, give me, give me. That only is there. When God dig gaya, apna dukh keh lo aur ichha maang lo. There are famous songs also there. Dharam Jai, Tanam Jai, Bharya De, Sundari Bharya De. So like that, people go and worship God for that purposes, desire. But one has to elevate more. His worship to God should become more elevated. And what is that? The third level is duty. You don't have to ask so many. God has given so many things to you. The oxygen which you are breathing, God only given. The water which is quenching your thirst, God has given. The family in which you are living, God has given you. The intelligence with which you are able to think and analyze about things, God has given. Your entire body is God is given. So you should stand for the situation which you are in and do your duties towards God. That platform of worship, duty, praying out of gratitude. Thank God you have given so many things. Why I should ask so many? Already give some. You know better what I should get or not. Not that I go and give big order and tell Krishna supply it. And if you cannot fulfill one of them, I will not believe you. During the what do you call war time, both Pakistani women also praying to Allah for protecting their husbands, and Hindu women are praying to Krishna for protecting their husbands. And who went for the war? But in war, somebody has to get sacrificed, and some on their side, some here. And when that happened, both started disbelieving the God. They started losing faith in Allah. They started losing faith in the God. Why it happens? Because they see God as order supplier. If you cannot fulfill my order, then you don't exist. If you fulfill, then you really exist for me. And for your sake, I can do anything. And therefore, one should elevate one's relationship with the God from fear to desire, from desire to duty, and your duty then increase to love. I am chanting because not as a duty, but I am chanting because I love God. I love to chant His names. I love to serve Krishna. So when one comes to the love platform, naturally such wars and such fights or controversy doesn't happen, because people are at different understanding of God only, and their worship of God, their God, be it Allah, be it Jehovah, be it Christ, be it Krishna, be it any other devata, hardly they cross beyond the desire level. Most of the people in this world are at fear and desire level. Because they are at fear and desire level, they hardly think of going beyond that. And they see that religion is an opportunity where they can promote themselves. And it has a lot of political influence also, because of which people, because they are not raising their consciousness, such worshippers are being exploited by political people, leaders, and everyone for their own benefit. And people are like shepherds, like sheep. They just are carried away by the whims of other people, not realizing the purpose of religion is to love God, is to raise their understanding from fear to desire to duty, and duty to love. That aspect they are not doing it. We see pure love of God ascending to ultimate religion of pure love of God is the purpose of all religions. And therefore, Prabhupada mentioned, you don't have to change your religion. Don't do conversations. You're in Christianity, be a Christian and try to love Christ. You're an Islamic person, be an Islamic person. Don't change. Increase your love for Him. So in this way, there are very beautiful lessons he has given. Prabhupada is an ambassador for spiritual world. He has given. He wanted to build a home in which whole world can live happily.
Bharatvarsha, India's profound culture.
Are you able to hear the sound?
Answers to man's deepest questions.
Hare Krishna, you're able to hear the sound of this video?
Has long guided thought in the Eastern and Western world. Ancient philosophers like Pythagoras, medieval thinkers like Voltaire, modern scientists like Schrödinger, Heisenberg, and messengers such as Swami Vivekananda accepted Indian philosophy for guidance and inspiration. Yet the purpose of this culture remained unknown, hidden in the hearts of India's greatest mystics. Thus, 50 years ago, in 1965, this rarefied essence was carried by a compassionate 70-year-old saint, Srila Prabhupada, to the shores of the Western world. Embarking on this difficult transatlantic voyage, experiencing 2 heart attacks on his 38 days aboard.
The pain was so severe. I was attacked by heart attack while on the sea twice.
This embodiment of India's sacred teachings set out alone with an impossible wish to spark a revolution of the individual heart, to fill it with purpose in a world of uncertainty, with joy in times of difficulty on an international scale. This gift was the teachings of Bhagavad Gita as it is, as it has been practiced for millennia, as it is, along with its original Vedic Krishna conscious culture. By his character and his compassion, Srila Prabhupada's systematic and scientific presentation of Krishna consciousness penetrated the very hearts of all those who heard him.
In America, in September 1965, my mission is to preach the philosophy of Lord Chaitanya, chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
And within a mere 3 years of his arrival, a genuinely international society, ISKCON, manifested globally inspiring teachings of Indian A. Arts, such as painting, music, instruments, and exhibitions. B. Books, particularly his magnum opus, the literary and intellectual jewel, Srimad Bhagavatam. C. Cuisine, the entire suite of exotic Indian vegetarian preparations, mastered by generations of cooks and enthusiastically embraced by boys and girls over the standard cow flesh, alcohol, drugs, coffee, tea, and even the onion and garlic. D. Dressing, men with dhoti kurta, women in saris, all with tilak. E. Etiquettes, respect to elders, the saintly, and to God. F. Following the cultural pathway, Sanskriti, for example, introducing the sanctity of Vedic marriage with all its duty and its commitment. G. A God-centric program establishing a personal relationship with the Lord in the form of exquisite deity worship, performed communally with kirtan, distribution of Mahaprasad, and worship. H. A healthy lifestyle with regulation such as rising early in the morning and pure habits such as bathing upon rising. I. Indian ethics, establishing the value from scriptures such as Ramayana and Mahabharata of a life filled with perseverance, tolerance, and humility over personal appearance, education, and wealth. J. Jolly dancing in kirtans to worship the Lord. Srila Prabhupada's teachings were centered on the essence of India's wisdom, that the constant chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, or as he called it, the great chant for deliverance, was capable of revolutionizing the world.
If you kindly become Krishna conscious and chant and dance in ecstasy, emotional love of God, the whole world will follow you and it will be Vaikuntha, there will be no more trouble. Thank you very much.
His gifts to India included 3 major centers of culture and education in 1. Bombay, the economic capital of India. 2. Vrindavan, India's foremost place of worship. And 3. Sriram Mayapur, ISKCON's international headquarters. Srila Prabhupada's unprecedented achievements have created an imperishable legacy. Their magnitude is understood only in terms of how the world has changed since his arrival on Western shores. Indians are now valued not only for their technical competence, but also for their character, their holistic culture, and their loving devotion to the Lord. Today, his students form a body of world-class spiritual leaders to carry on Srila Prabhupada's mission of compassion. Truly, India has regained its position as a genuine beacon of light for the entire world, for generations to come, especially with the construction of the Temple of Vedic Planetarium.
So Prabhupada has given. So we have discussed these following things. Why there are many religions, Sanatana Dharma and other religions, depth of Vedic knowledge, and understanding about God is given, definition of God, names of God, role of God, and fear to love. So basically, when Prabhupada as an ambassador, he has given us a very best example of being an Indian. If you say I'm an Indian, if you say religion, forget about fighting, we are Indians first. Yes, we are Indians. But as Indians, we are supposed to embrace Sanatana Dharma fully to our heart. And with that, we should try our best to imbibe those principles in personal life. And it's the responsibility of an Indian, they should go out. An old man, 70-year-old man, went and created a revolution in the entire world. We are young. Why can't we take this responsibility ourselves and try to educate people on a very basics When basics are clear, such fights, controversies all will subside down. I thank each one of you for giving your valuable time. So we'll end here. Thank you very much. Anyone has any specific question here or any comment? I will take next 2 minutes or 3 minutes. I have to go for another meeting there. Hare Krishna. किसी का कुछ प्रश्न है, पूछना चाहते हैं या फिर कुछ comment?
Prabhuji, I also want to introduce one more devotee has joined, Gulab Singh. He is also, I think, from last session he has introduced, and he is doing doing job and also in process for PG degree. So he is also joined today. Some more were new person were there. They have left the meeting.
Yeah. I saw that at particular time. Yeah. Okay then. We'll conclude here. Hare Krishna. Gulab Singh ji. Thank you for coming. I think Ashok Kumar also there. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Poonam Kalwa. Is from your side, Murli? Poonam?
They are three. Yeah, Poonam Chand and Jagdish and Sampath. They are three. They are joining by mobile.
Okay, they're all in one screen only, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Jagdish has regularly joined. Poonam Chand and then Sampath, they are joining first time. They are also new.
You keep a contact, you make a plan for Vrindavan or Mayapur, one of them. In October, we can meet personally. Or I'll come to your home in Rajasthan. That time also we can plan something. Okay?
Yeah, you plan like that. You come to Rajasthan and from there we will book the Gadi and then you take to Govardhan, Vrindavan, Yatra and like.
Sure. Wonderful. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Oh, Puja is also there. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Oh, Premila. Hare Krishna. Your exams are going on, Premila? You are muted. Your mic muted.
हरे कृष्णा।
हाँ, आपके एग्जाम चल रहे क्या अभी?
हाँ प्रभु जी, सेम के हो चुके हैं और भी नेट चल रहा है।
आप किताब लेके बैठे थे ना, मेरे डाउट आया। So we'll end here. Hare Krishna. हाँ जी?
जी प्रभु जी, आपकी आवाज नहीं आई। जी प्रभु जी, नेट इशू।
नहीं, आप किताब लेके बैठे थे ना उधर, मेरे लग रहा है कि आप पढ़ाई कर रहे होगे, इसलिए किताब और
जी प्रभु जी। जी
ठीक है। विकास also there. Hare Krishna. विकास प्रभु, you are in Siliguri only? Unmute your mic.
At present, I am in my hometown.
Oh, hometown में आ गया।
Not in Siliguri.
अच्छा, your brother, your cousin ना, who is coming for the Sunday class here? Yes. He belongs to in my nearby place now, Balurghat, nearby town. When are you coming back to Kolkata?
I am coming in nearby this week, upcoming week.
Okay. From last 2 weeks, I have not seen him for the Sunday class. To check with him.
He's also in hometown.
Okay, you all are living in hometown.
1 hour distance from my home. 1 hour distance.
Okay, fine. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Amritendra Prabhu is managing that, so
yes. He will come and soon he will join the classes.
I'm eager for you to join the class.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.